Welcome back. President Trump going after his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, after his testimony on Capitol Hill last week. In that testimony, Cohen refuted a key part of the Steele dossier, which helped launch the Russia investigation, when he said he had never been to Prague or even the Czech Republic. On Sunday Morning Futures, I spoke with ranking member of the House Intel Committee, Devin Nunes, and got his reaction to Cohen's admission. He said he was never in Prague. And,
right.
and isn't it true that in the dossier said that he went to Prague to go meet with Russian officials to meddle into the U.S. election?
Yeah. This is why they don't want him outside. They want him behind closed doors so that we can't talk about the testimony. The bottom line is that Cohen was great for Republicans. It was great for Donald Trump because we now know that the dossier was total bunk. There was no truth to it.
Joining us right now is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good to see you.
Oh, good morning.
Your reaction?
Well, I think Congressman Nunes' problem is with FISA and the ease with which information can be brought to FISA. Now, you know I've been a long-time opponent of it because it has lowered the standard for issuing search warrants, and FBI agents have become seduced by it. Get an easy, let's call it national security search warrant from FISA. We couldn't get one from a regular federal judge because we don't have a probable cause of crime. But then once we start investigating, we'll transform this into a criminal investigation. That has happened hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. This is the one where the victim was the president of the United States and the FBI got caught with its pants down.
That's right.
Now, how do we resolve this? I've had a beef with Congressman Nunes because he was aware of these FISA violations. At the same time, the House was voting to reinstate FISA, and he didn't bring these violations to the floor.
Nunes says he wants to redo the FISA laws. He said that's one of the things Congress has to do. Kevin McCarthy, weigh in here.
But the core of the question here is about Cohen's hearing. This whole Mueller investigation is based upon saying that there's collusion between Russia and the president. That was all the foundation of that, was saying that Cohen went to Prague to meet the Russians.
Right.
That's the foundation of the whole Mueller investigation. The Democrats did bring Cohen in, who's going to jail for lying, but he says in this one point, I've never been there. So the foundation of the whole Mueller investigation just collapsed last week, and nobody's talking about it.
What do you think about that?
I agree with the facts, as Congressman McCarthy has outlined them. But as you know, we were talking about this during the break, these things are as much political as they are legal, and they take on a life of their own. So
this is all political.
Yeah, of course. So Jerry Nadler wants to subpoena everybody under the sun. He must believe that his base wants this. He's not going to do what he thinks will harm himself and harm the Democrats politically. So there are Democrats who want to investigate.
It's not true. And then there's this on the Russia investigation. Two members of Congress are warning the new Attorney General, William Barr, of compromise within the Mueller probe. Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows sent this letter to Bill Barr, questioning the independence of two members of the Mueller team. That's Andrew Weissman and Zainab Ahmad. Here's what they write. Both Weissman and Ahmad were part of a small group of Justice Department officials communicating with then Associate Deputy Attorney General Bruce Orr about the anti-Trump dossier information collected by an FBI source, Christopher Steele. So, Judge, you have Weissman, and these two individuals were working in the DOJ. They were involved in the dossier, and now they're Weissman's number two behind Mueller in the special probe. Is that a conflict of interest?
No, this happens all the time. Everybody in the DOJ talks to everybody else about everything under the sun. They don't compartmentalize. They do it because they believe sharing information will help them get to the truth.
What do you think?
Okay, but go. So Bruce Orr's wife, Nellie Orr, works for Fusion GPS.
Yes,
that
that's
created the dossier. Okay,
yeah,
but let's go a step further
story.
here. But now you have Adam Schiff, who met with Glenn Simpson in Aspen, but didn't convey that. We now find that Schiff also talked to Cohen before this investigation, which, if you ask Devin, he never did anything like that. You had the Democrats with the Republicans.
I don't think that these hearings, and Congressman McCarthy is far more familiar with this than I am, occur without some interrogation, usually by staff. I mean, surely Cohen just didn't walk in there without Elijah Cummings knowing what he was going to say.
I feel like that's what they did with Christine Blasey Ford.
Together. It just came before us when we asked him.
So you have a Republican staff asking him questions and a Democratic staff asking him questions in private, each trying to get information out of him, feeding what they get to their respective members, and then those members use that information in public to make to score political points. The one good thing about this was it was in public, it was open, and we can all judge for ourselves whether Michael Cohen is believable or not. When these things are
to Intel last week,
but when these things are in secret, we don't know. We get the Adam Schiff version and we get the Devin Nunes version.
Okay, there's nothing that Cohen is saying in the Intel committee that's top secret, so why isn't all that public?
I could not agree with you more. I don't know what Cohen could be telling them about Intel. He's not an Intel person. He's not involved in national security.
He doesn't have any classified information.
Right. So it should be public.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that whatever you think of Cohen, he helped Trump, he hurt Trump, he's believable, he's not believable. You can form your own judgment on the basis of observing him, not listening to somebody else's summary of what he said behind closed doors.
Listen, this is a man that during this meeting said he's not opposed to doing a book deal, a movie deal. I don't think anyone would hire this man. He's going to jail for lying.
Yeah.
He lied in almost every aspect of his life. And the Democrats make this their very first big hearing of who they want to bring in.
He could be a consultant if they're doing a sequel to The Grifters, maybe.
We will leave it there.
Are you accustomed to her?
Good to see you.
My favorite.
Judge Andrew Napolitano joining us.